On page 4-13 and 4-14, we are going to look at graphing horizontal and vertical lines. So all of the other graphs we've done, we have put into slope-intercept form if it wasn't already given to us, where we had a y and an x, and then we knew our slope and our y-intercept. These will be different. You will only have one variable. Your lines will either be going straight up and down, vertical, like our first one, or straight across, horizontal. So as you can see, if you have a vertical line, we have x equals a, where a represents the line's x-intercept. So if you think about all of the ordered pairs on this line would have an x of 3. This ordered pair is 3, 1. This ordered pair is 3, 4. This ordered pair is 3, negative 3. So in every single one of those, x is equal to 3. So that's why you have the equation x equals 3. No matter what your y is, your x is always 3. Then it's just the opposite for a horizontal line. A horizontal is y equals. So they're opposite of their axis. So an x-axis goes across, but x equals a number goes up and down. All right, so that's a little bit tricky to think of. So again, if we think of the ordered pair thing, this ordered pair would be 2, negative 1. This ordered pair over here would be 3, negative 1. You could keep going, and all of them would have a y value of negative 1. So your equation for the second one is y equals negative 1. So when we look over here at our writing the equation, all right, so we can see our graph over here. For this one, no matter what, we go left 2. So again, if you want to think of the ordered pairs, your x value is always negative 2. So x equals negative 2 would be your answer. Again, the y-axis goes up and down, but x equals a number is your equation of a vertical line. Number 2, no matter what, we go up 3, so y is equal to 3. Number 3, looks like we go down 5, so y equals negative 5. Number 4, we go right 4, so x equals 4. Number 5 is tricky. It wrote right over the y-axis, so most people think y is 0. But your y values would be different at every single ordered pair. Your x is always equal to 0 on the y-axis. Number 6, we would have y equals 2. So figure out if you're going up or down, and that's your y. If you're going left or right, then that's your x. So that will be how you graph it. So y equals 5. You would go up 5 for a y. Okay, so again, this is your x, and this is your y. So when you're graphing it, just think, okay, y equals 5 means I go up 5, and then I put a dot. Y equals 5 would go straight across in both directions. The only time you would draw straight up and down again, or straight across if you're on the axis, is if you have a 0. Number 8, x equals negative 1 means I go left 1. Then I draw straight up and down. Number 9, x equals 3 means I would go right 3, and again draw straight up and down. X equals a number is a straight up and down line. Y equals negative 2 means I would go down 2 and then draw straight across. Number 11, y equals 4, up 4, put my dot straight across. And number 12, x equals negative 7 means I go left 7 and then draw straight up and down. So x equals again is going to go straight up and down. So first you count left or right to figure out your starting point, and then you draw up and down. If it's a y equals, you go up or down first and then draw across. take a minute and pause the video and see if you can answer questions 13 through 18 and then come back and check. So for 13, what is the slope of the line y equals 4? So if you just imagine, or you can draw yourself a little xy axis here, y equals 4 means I go up 4 and draw a cross, and we should remember that the slope of a straight across horizontal line is 0. So then if we have x equals -2, that would look like this. And we should remember that a straight up and down line has a slope that is undefined. The slope of the line x equals 0. So here's a tricky one. X equals 0 means I stay at the origin, but then I draw straight up and down. So that one is also undefined. X equals will always have an undefined slope because it should always be a vertical line. 16, which axis is y equals -1 parallel to? Well, if you're not sure, draw yourself a picture. That means I would go down 1 and draw across so it is parallel to the x-axis. 17, which axis is x equals 4 parallel to? Hopefully you can figure that out from answering 16. But if not, if we look at our x and y, x equals 4 would go here, draw straight up and down. That is parallel to the y-axis. 18, you can have a lot of different things here. How does the graph of y equals 3 differ from y equals 3x? First of all, you should know that y equals 3 is going to be a straight across line, where y equals 3x is going to be a slanted line. So that's one way in which it is different. The slope of y equals 3 is 0. The slope of y equals 3x is 3. So you can talk a lot about their slopes. If we look at y equals 3, we start up here and go straight across. Y equals 3x means we start at 0 and go up 3, right 1, down 3, left 1. So you could talk about their slopes. You could talk about one is slanted, one is not. You could talk about their y-intercepts. Y equals 3 has a y-intercept of 3. Y equals 3x has a y-intercept of 0. So lots of different things that show how those two things are different. So when you put it all together, when you're going to be graphing all different things, you really have to watch out for, does it have both a y and an x? If it has both a y and an x, that means it should be slanted. If it's just a y equals, it should be a horizontal line. If it's x equals, it should be a vertical line.